Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV Current. I am Mowire Rabila Lawal. Federal government approves 37 new private universities. Number of out-of-school children has dropped. Minister. Doctors begin 5-day warning strike tomorrow. Tragedy in Ogun as windstorm wipes out family of 4, others injured. On sport, CAF drops Abuja Stadium, approves Uyo for Super Eagles. Now the news in detail. The federal government yesterday approved 37 new private universities. The approval was announced at an extraordinary Federal Executive Council FEC meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa. FEC entertained about 40 memoranda from various ministries, departments and agencies, including the approval for the establishment of 37 private universities. According to the Minister of Education, Madam Adamu, one of the institutions approved is an online university. He said the newly approved universities have soared the number of private universities in the country to 72. Although he did not disclose the names of the universities, he revealed that online university will be the first of its kind in the country and owned by a woman from Bauchi State. The expectation is that it will cater for the likes of northern Muslim women who feel reluctant or are restrained from attending physical campus education. Asked by journalists if the additional universities are really expedient given the funding challenges of existing ones, Adamu explained that these ones are all private with enough funds to run them and they should not be denied the opportunity to exist. Minister of Aviation, Adi Serika, reaffirmed the seriousness of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to ensure that proposed national airline Nigeria Air works before the 29th of this month when it will be leaving office. Going on to the next story. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, said the federal government has witnessed a rise in school enrollment nationwide, but they provide specific numbers to support her claim. She disclosed this to State House correspondent after the extraordinary Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa. The minister stated that the government aims to enroll every out-of-school child by 2030. According to her, the government has approved a budget of over 14 billion naira to train and empower beneficiaries. She also said Council approved a policy on the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, which speaks to address the issues of education, health, social protection, and agriculture. The Minister of State Transportation, Demola Adeguroye, said the Council approved the sum of 1.3 billion naira for the procurement of furniture for the newly acquired headquarters of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Security Agency, NAMASA, in Lagos. And to the next story, the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, NAD, will tomorrow begin a 5-day warning strike in reaction to the federal government's failure to meet its demands. The association, after a 6-hour National Executive Council meeting yesterday, said the warning strike will commence at 8 a.m. and on Monday, May 22nd at 8 a.m. The resident doctors had on April 29 issued a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demands. The 14-day ultimatum ended on Saturday. The association said the government's refusal to either reach out or call for a meeting led to the decision by its neck to agree on a nationwide 5-day warning strike. It hopes that within the period, the government will take steps to address the demands. NAD, however, stressed that if the current government, although in transition, does not intervene meaningfully, it would embark on a full-blown indefinite strike nationwide. President of the NAD, Dr. Emeka Oji, called on the President-elect, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to bring his experience to bear and intervene in the business and issue. He said that the intervention of the president-elect will send a message of hope to its members and indeed Nigerians that his government would not be a strike-mongering administration. Among the demands by the doctors are 200% review of their consolidated medical salary structure, payment of the 2023 medical residency training fund, and issuance of a circular by the House of Representatives justifying the bill by Ganiyu Johnson, which seeks to stop young doctors from leaving the country without a 5-year service period. Other demands are the issuance of a circular by the Federal Ministry of Health for the replacement of doctors and nurses that have left the system with new ones, and the payment of salary arrears, improvement in hazard allowance by state governments, among others. Orji said, we issued a 14-day ultimatum expecting that the government will address many of these issues or at least call on oath for negotiation, but there was no attempt by the federal government to try to resolve it. And to Ogun State. Residents of Dero in the E4 local government area of Ogun State woke up on Monday morning to wailing and mourning as a midnight windstorm accompanied by heavy rains wiped out a family of 4 in the area. According to eyewitness, during the heavy rains that was preceded by a windstorm, a concrete fence beside the house of the family gave way and fell on the apartment that the family occupied. The head of the family, popularly called Onimalu, a butcher at the local abattoir in the area, was said to have made effort to save his son and pregnant wife, but none of his effort made any difference as they all died. According to the eyewitness, several others who were injured in the building have been rushed to different hospitals in the area as fear mounts over their faith. A resident of the area, who gave his name simply as Taufik, lamented the tragedy and said the late Onimalu was an easygoing person who related well with both young and old. Taufik, however, blamed the tragedy on the landlord who built an extraordinary high concrete fence. When repulsive Nigeria visited the scene, policemen from Akute Division were seen on guard as butchers colleagues of the deceased Onimalu are threatening to destroy the building and deal with the landlord. A reporter on ground overheard some of the butchers calling their colleagues from other areas to come over, threatening to burn down the house. From the Ogun State story, we go to the sport that ends the national news this hour. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has approved the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, for the Super Eagles' next home games in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. The Super Eagles played their 2 previous home games in the qualifiers against Sierra Leone and Guinea-Bissau at the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, Abuja. The Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, was not among the approved stadia listed by the Confederation of African Football (CAF) on Monday. The Super Eagles' next game in the qualifiers is an away clash against the Lone Stars of Sierra Leone on June 18. The game will be played at a neutral venue as no stadium in Sierra Leone was approved by CAF. The Super Eagles will host Sao Tome and Principe in their final match of qualifiers in September. Jose Pesero's side top Group A of the 2023 AFCON qualifiers with 9 points and need a point from their next game against Sierra Leone to secure a place in Côte d'Ivoire. With that sports story, we end the national news this hour. Before we go, some major headlines. Federal government approves 37 new private universities. Number of out-of-school children has dropped, Minister claims. Doctors begin 5-day warning strike tomorrow. Tragedy in Ogun as windstorm wipes out family of 4, others injured. And on sport, CAF drops Abuja Stadium, approves Uyo for Super Eagles qualifiers. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is BGI TV Current. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access our broadcast. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawa. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.